All right, hello and welcome to Roid Rage episode 52. I'm Jack Beyer. I'll be your host as usual, and I'm joined this week by our CEO, Matt. Matt, how you doing?
Same as last week.
So completely bad.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry.
Why did we ask that? Like, how we doing? Nobody gives a fuck.
I actually do.
Oh well, I don't.
Well, it shapes how I host this, because if you say you're in a great mood, then I can ask you why. If you say you're in a bad mood, then I can be like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. Hey, let's talk about anything else. Hey, Robyn, what's up? Spacecraft.
Yeah, I'm here.
That you're gonna no-sell me? You're gonna no-sell me. Okay. All right,
I'm having a good day.
Okay.
I decided to have a good day today.
You decided to.
I did.
I'm glad. I'm happy for you, and I need to learn your ways of Zen. But yeah, I don't know. Since the last time you've been on, buddy, we did a little bit of a format tweak. We started off the show with a little bit of what's gone on in the last week of spaceflight news, and then we get into our usual spate of topics.
I just think it's incredible we have a format.
Well,
Please,
you know,
go ahead.
Debatable.
Don't let me interrupt you.
I keep waiting for Matt to chime in and be like, "This format's shit," but he's just no selling. All right, so news bag. Artemis 2 wet dress rehearsal actually went well. Asterisk. And the asterisk.
Wait a minute. Didn't I read that they're like pulling it
What did I
back?
just say? What did I just say, Robyn? I said asterisk. They are.
Well, it seems like more than an asterisk if they're rolling it back to the high bay.
You know, I am nothing if not, extremely specific. I'm the guy that's like, actually. So the actually here is the wet dress rehearsal went well, but there was, during detanking ops overnight, there was a helium flow issue in the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. I think that's what ICPS stands for, the upper stage. So there was a helium flow issue, not during the wet dress. So the wet dress itself went well, but there was an issue afterwards that's necessitating a rollback because they can't access the parts of them.
So they peed their pants, but they didn't crap their pants. But you still got to go back and change the underwear.
Pretty much.
Okay. That's an asterisk.
You guys are giving me nothing. Like, how am I supposed to bounce back?
Is there any other news?
There is other news, but
All right.
we're not done with Artemis 1.
We're done.
No, we're not done. Well, Artemis 2. We are done
Yeah,
with
there
Artemis
you go,
1.
buddy.
Hey, I'm
Yeah,
catching up.
gotcha.
See, you actually me. Okay, so Artemis 1's SLS rolled to and from the pad 7 times before it finally launched. That's between 2 wet dress rehearsal campaigns and 3 launch attempts. Matt, as discussed on our last week's episode, you have been you've been known to do a little bit of betting on like sports and stuff. If you were going to be betting on number of attempts and rolls for Artemis 2, would you bet over or under the number of rolls for Artemis 1, which is again 7?
I'm not gonna bet at all. Like, I want to see this happen, so I'm not gonna bet for or against it.
I guess that's fair because there are humans riding this thing. So
Not even the humans. Like, I don't think this is ever an issue of safety. It's an issue of, can we get there all the way before we agree that we have hit all the safety marks to go launch it. The helium flow issue and not being able to purge the lines is a pretty common issue to have on rockets. Like, I keep bringing this up. These are hard rockets to build. This is a hydrogen oxygen system. It's really difficult, right? The molecules are very small. I mean, Robyn, you worked on Delta 4. You know how difficult this is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really if you have a leak. It's just where is it leaking and how much.
And at what time, right? Like, it's how it goes through with these. And so you gotta, I think we all have to understand as well, we have not done this mission in 50 years. And we can all sit here and be like, well, SpaceX has made this and Blue's done this. And that is correct. We've seen a lot of advancement in spaceflight. We still have yet to send somebody around the moon in the last 50 years. This is a huge undertaking. It's a very hard mission to do. It's a bespoke rocket that's only flown once before. This is going to be challenging.
And clearly the risk posture in 2026 is way different than in the 1960s. And let's not forget that when we tried this the first time going to the moon, we actually killed 3 people, right? Like,
yeah, Apollo 1 happened.
I mean, that was devastating. It was a devastating impact. And
even just Challenger in Columbia shows what happens when your risk posture gets lax, or when you get go fever, or when other sort of programmatic issues come into play besides safety first.
I actually think Challenger and Columbia were a different issue.
Yeah,
I don't think
I'm
they
going
were
with Matt on
pushing
this.
it.
I don't think it was
Really?
the same thing.
Apollo 1 was pushing the envelope and trying to figure out. I mean, if you go back and like you read the book, so Alan Shepard wrote a book. I forget what it's called. I have a signed copy by him, which is kind of cool.
Flex.
But in that book, he describes
no flex. He didn't know the name of the book.
Yeah, that's fair. But in that book, he describes like writing the first Redstone and the fact that he wanted to go before the launch was ever successful. Could you imagine an astronaut coming in here and being like, I don't actually care if you've ever demo flighted it or even done it. Just send me on that bitch and light it. Like that was the kind of mantra of these early test pilots that, to be fair, were dying weekly. Like if you go to Edwards Air Force Base to the chapel and you look at the 50s
I mean, that's
and
just the
60s,
greatest generation ever, right? Like,
well, I think it was the generation that wanted to choose how they died instead of dying in World War II. Like much of the world population
that's
was
what
killed.
They're called is
The greatest generation.
I thought they were called the Silent Generation was before, right?
Oh, or after? I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm a millennial.
Yeah, I don't know. I just make fun of boomers.
Oh, that explains so much.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a t-shirt that just says, don't ask me. I'm a millennial.
You know what the question is to ask all boomers, though? Is just, I've realized this. The way they rank themselves is by how many houses they own.
So you ask them how many houses they have?
And I
they're
guarantee
like,
you the answer is
"I got
always
one."
greater than one.
Huh. Must be
Robyn,
nice.
how many houses do you own?
Don't throw him under the bus like that. What are you doing? leave Robyn alone.
You know, I think the trick to owning houses is you're always renting. It's just a question of whether you're renting money or renting property.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, we learned that in Mexico yesterday.
Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. So you dodged the question. Robyn, do you think it's going to take more or less than 7 rolls to get this SLS off the ground for Artemis 2?
I mean, I think it's going to take less than 7 before they launch. I think the under over is probably 3.
All right.
And if you said like, oh, do I think it's less than 3? I think it's between less than 7, more than 3 kind of numbers, because they know a lot about it, and they might. This counts as 1, right? So it goes back again. That's 2.
This will be this is 2. So
this is 2,
it
right?
rolled out.
So,
it's coming back. It's going to have to go again. So you're really safe by saying 3. Right now we're at the minimum. It's going to be 3.
Oh,
this is the stupidest metric ever. If you roll back, you have to roll back out to the
Yeah.
pad. So like one
It's
should
not-
be
I'm
one
counting,
cycle.
I'm counting each roll because each roll does put a cycle of mechanical stress on SLS. Like I don't know what the number is. I don't think they've ever said, but there's a set number of rolls that it can actually do. They got into that on Artemis 1.
I totally missed that. Okay, I meant round trips.
Okay,
Yeah,
my bad. I should have made it round trips. I'm a failure. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
I mean, where else would you roll it?
That's what I'm saying. There is no other way to roll it, Jack. So like the mechanical stress has to be out and back.
Oh my
and
God!
not-
Can you imagine if they exceeded the number of rolls?
Like what do they do? Just
I
launch
can,
from
actually.
launch
I've
from the
thought about this.
facility?
Like, where would they roll it next? Be like, oh, roll to the junker. You know how much it would cost to like, okay, actually just take it apart?
It would cost less than Mobile Launcher 2 has.
Oh man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. or everybody listening. All right, well, we can bin that. We can bin that question. All right, well, I think that's pretty good for Artemis 2.
No way. I'm not letting you off the hook.
With Artemis 2?
Well, I mean, you didn't talk on the news about Starliner.
Oh man, dude.
I mean,
That should have been in the doc. Okay, so Starliner has had its mishap report come out, and NASA and Jared Isaacman, NASA admin, has announced that it is going to be classified as a type A, Class A mishap. I forget if it's type or class, but essentially treating it
it's not good.
treating it on the same level as a loss of mission or crew, or like there's various different criteria of what constitutes a type A mishap. I believe the criteria they're using to classify this one is greater than $20 million of damage, or $200 million of damage, or $2 million. It's greater than several $1 million worth of damage, which makes sense given what had to happen with Butch and Sonny getting back on a different crew rotation and sending back Starliner uncrewed. Man, though, like, I think this was sort of glossed over in the PR at the time. In retrospect, now with the benefit of hindsight, it seems like Starliner barely made it to the ISS. Do you think that's a fair characterization?
Honestly, I just wanted to bring it up that, like, in terms of how many times we're going to roll back Artemis 2, like, that kind of can't fail problem and attitude, like, will drive you to more, right? And every time you cycle these systems, you put wear and tear on them. So, got to think about it the right way the first time. You know, the Chinese ended up doing something different. Came to a different decision on their capsule when they had a problem. So just saying, space is hard, and it's still hard.
Every time somebody says that, it's like just like a dagger in my heart. It's 2026. Space shouldn't be hard. I mean, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just wish it wasn't. Matt, Starliner. I mean, SLS is like a famously ballyhooed program.
Yeah, I mean, let's just take it's cool. What do you want me to say? Like, we talk shit about this capsule all the time. I think number one, Jared coming out and just being so transparent about every single mishap is really cool to see.
That's nice.
As someone who cares about space, who wants to go write about this stuff, who just wants to inform the world, and you can see it like raising the level of inspiration that people read this and get excited about NASA again. That's great. What is Starliner's a fucking jobs program. Cool. What happens when you have a jobs program? Go apply this to anything we see in the world, jails, whatever else is built by the Senate. It all fucking sucks. And there's a reason for that. It is a jobs program. That's what Starliner was. It is why lobbyists should be banned from the fucking government, because all they did was lobby to have a second capsule that could go out there. The reality is SpaceX built Dragon, and SpaceX built Dragon to fly a whole bunch of resupply missions, and then said we could put people on it, and had, how many flights did Dragon have before people actually flew on it?
Oh, I don't know. Quite a few.
I would say probably upwards of 40 missions, maybe somewhere in that range. It wasn't the second time. And Starliner going out there as nobody cared about it. I mean, fucking Boeing didn't even show up to the press conference. Like, their lack of giving a shit is just suffocating to me. There's no passion at Boeing. There's nobody that cares.
Or at least the management representation on it. Because I bet there's a lot of hardworking engineers and middle management there that are totally care a ton and are totally making it happen.
There is definitely a
In
few
spite of
hardworking
the
engineers and a
leadership.
bunch of middle managers there that care, and they should probably fire all the managers and hire more engineers.
Yeah.
That became pretty clear. But it's just, look, it's what happens when there is no reset in societal programs, and you see what happens at Boeing. I mean, Boeing at one time was a startup. Boeing at one time built some of the best aircraft ever made. They still build some of the best aircraft ever made. They are really hitting the limit of what they can do, and I think this is where you go to, like, they moved their headquarters to Virginia to be closer to the government so they could win programs like this. And that's the fallacy of when you just trace the money instead of having an engineering first founder-led company. It just doesn't happen.
It really is just an insane fall from grace to go from, if it ain't Boeing, I ain't going, to, I don't know if I would ride on Starliner. Like, I would definitely fly on Virgin Galactic spacecraft. I would definitely fly on.
Whoa, Jack, time
that's
out.
the point.
Whoa.
That's the point of saying that one first. I know a lot of people out there wouldn't, but I would, just because it's the only human.
Just because when you blow up, you'd look cooler with the.
Also, yes. Also, you have like a 50-50 statistical chance.
Look, guys, it's the same thing we see all the time throughout history. I mean, IBM just came out. The IBM stock fell 13% today, this morning. Same story with IBM, right? IBM was International Business
Used to be a
Machines, one of the
powerhouse.
coolest things, one of the biggest computer suppliers. They were on with all of the large compute clusters back in the 60s, 50s, whatever. They were the number one player. And then they lost their way. Founders leave. You get new CEOs that just prioritize, the current profit of the day instead of the dream.
I mean, don't forget that. I mean, Watson won Jeopardy, and then
Watson
what?
did win Jeopardy. I mean, what's crazy to think about? Go back to when Watson won Jeopardy.
I know
that was when IBM was saying like AI, and then they were just like, oh, actually, we don't care that much. Never mind.
Yeah.
And now AI is one of the biggest from a capital allocation perspective, where most of the money, they had what, a 10-year lead on everybody, and they just dropped the fucking ball.
Yep.
And that is what happens, I think, at companies that are not led by founders.
Such a shame to see. One of the other pull quotes from the Starliner brouhaha from the last week was, I just want to call this out specifically. Jared called it out in the presser. Disagreement over crew return options between NASA and Boeing deteriorated into unprofessional conduct while the crew remained on orbit. I am not quite sure what the specifics there are. I would love to know, though, like, what exactly is being referenced there, because that is like a grade A yikes when you ask me, like, unprofessional conduct while the crew was on orbit. To me, that says NASA and Boeing were like fighting, maybe slinging mud internally in some emails. I don't know.
Which is
somebody should FOIA it.
Is not a bad thing, because it means that somebody on the other side cared. That's actually the first sense I've ever got that anybody at Boeing gave a shit about anything on the mission. I love to see, like, conflict isn't bad, right? Conflict can usually breed better results than non-conflict. And
Healthy
I think
conflict.
in this case, they say that they decided to stay on the thing, regardless of what option would have chosen. It's clear that they would have been able to return. Like, the capsule did come back successfully, right?
It
But
did.
Boeing took a huge hit because of it. So are we ever going to know the truth? No, but it was that problem with humans in spaceflight as a whole of an A/B thing. Like you don't get an A/B test hardware. This is why it's the iteration cycles are slower than software. We could say in retrospect it came back fine.
It did. It also, I think it lost a thruster on the way back
Yep.
and was zero fault tolerant. So if they
Yep.
had lost another thruster after that, it would have been bad. But it did
Yep.
come back fine, but it almost didn't. Similar to like it got to the ISS, but it almost didn't. Just hair raising in a way. Thank you for holding my feet to the fire on that one. My feet to the thruster?
Honestly, I'm a little torn because, human space flight is different and should be different than the kinds of things that we're doing.
Absolutely.
We're out there exploring, taking risks, but we're never putting our people in an unsafe environment. We're just not doing that. And I'm done working on human space flight. Like, not for me anymore.
Yeah, there's too many different opinions in human. I think me and Robyn actually have totally different opinions on human spaceflight, which is fine because we're not doing humans, right?
Because you said conflict is
It's like good.
Right.
So we fight. we just box every once in a while about it. But
Wait, what are your different opinions? You think all robots and
no, I think that if you are willing to sign up to be an astronaut, you are willing to take outsized risk, and that it's not the engineer's job to worry about whether or not they kill somebody. It's actually that we need to breed a culture of what we had in the 50s and 60s, where people were willing to strap themselves into a machine that
ICBMs.
maybe was like one fault tolerant still means, hey, you got one fault. That's actually double redundancy, right? Like, where that spirit has left us as a society. And I think the only way you get that back, like the reality is, if you choose my path and you choose to take that, you are going to kill people. Are you okay with that? And my philosophy is, if you are an astronaut, you earn the badge of being an astronaut because you're okay with death. I think I share that alone at this point in society, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, we also don't want to just kill people.
I don't know, man. That's not much different than if you choose to go parachuting or, I don't know, what's the squirrel shaped parachute?
Wingsuit?
The
Yeah.
Wingsuiting.
Like,
wingsuiting, you just have chosen death,
right? Like
Goals.
you've actively chosen death, or
Goals.
like free climbing and all that sort of stuff. Like
The free climbing's oh my God. Cave diving, any of that.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't actually disagree with Matt on it's a choice. You should be allowed to make the choice if you're going to make the choice. For me, running a human spaceflight program, which I didn't send anybody into space, but I was definitely responsible for people operating around a rocket while it was being fueled and detanked and all that kind of stuff. Man, that was just like worried so much about being wrong about anything. And, you can't take a time out, so you just, it does require a different level of attention. And so rolling back Artemis, totally fine. Choosing to not fly astronauts back on a capsule, totally fine. Right. Like, yeah, I just is what it is.
Just got to get it right. When humans are involved, there's no playing around. Just sometimes.
Yeah, but there. Let's take a time out. There is. China is doing this. China is taking outsized. China is actually more my philosophy, where they're saying, "Fuck it, let's go try. We're not going to be as succinct. We're not going to be as good. We're actually going to make a lot more mistakes, and we're going to put humans on it." And they're moving at a speed that is 2 to 3 times faster than we are as a space program.
So
And
like we've gotten
where does
like
that
an
hit?
analysis paralysis kind of thing where we're too worried about safety to go fast enough.
Not that. It's just like anything. It's like every single product you get, you can always chalk it up to like, people die in car accidents. Let's put a speed limit on. People die in car accidents. Like, should we all drive 5 miles an hour and have 7-point seat harnesses and have, fuel cells instead of fuel tanks? Like, that would actually save everybody, but the cost would become so extreme. And we've chosen not to make that on cars because we still want to maintain our way of life. The problem with space is it doesn't maintain a way of life for us. It is an exploration. It's a new adventure we're going on. So we actually choose to make the car with the fuel cell and the roll cage and the 7-point harness, and it only goes 5 miles an hour. China's kind of said, fuck it. We're making Ferraris, and we'll see what happens. It's just a different philosophy on how we build. We've taken this like safety critical
I think it's
approach.
closer to like NASCAR or Formula One.
God, the worst form of racing. But yeah.
All right, we've talked about this way too long. We got to move on.
All right, let's
and
move on.
Hopefully Rachel will edit some of this out.
We'll be good. Hey, so speaking of attention to detail, Robyn, since the last time we recorded, we've done a whole bunch of different tests with Deep Space 2 hardware, and we're right about to get into another major test, which I'm really excited to photograph. Next week, the hot fire of Deep Space 2, which we'll talk about. But first, let's talk about everything, all the tests that we've been doing up to now, since the last time we had you on at the end of 2025. So we have gone back and done a structures vibe test on a should I say test article, structural test article? What's the
Structural test article.
Is that like the appropriate engineering term to use?
Structural test article.
Okay, yeah. So we did another vibe test on a structural test article. How did that go, Robyn?
Lots of discovery.
Discovery is good. I like learning.
Honestly, it didn't go as well as I would like it to have gone. It's a learning process. We had a number of issues that were exposed. The spacecraft fundamentally stayed together, but we were not happy with the results. So we went back and made a bunch of small design changes and updates. And then also, frankly, given the schedule that we have, we took an opportunity to lighten up one of the components that we felt like did better than it should have. And so now we're back into putting all that back together.
Nice. And then in that same sort of test flow, we also did acoustics testing.
Yeah, we acoustics testing is kind of an interesting. You should like picture Marty McFly standing in front of a really big speaker and a with the metallic pick.
Can I just say, when we tweeted the photo of acoustic testing, I told Matt to tweet that GIF, and he didn't. And I was a little bit hurt that he didn't think it was a good enough idea to do.
You act like I have time to go look up these GIFs and go figure out where to put them.
That's fair. I should have just done it. I should have just logged into your account and done it, and then got it hacked.
Full stop. Cool. Anyway.
Anyways, Robyn, acoustic testing, yes, it's like the big speaker, Marty McFly. Back in the
so
future.
rockets make a lot of noise.
Right.
And so that acoustic energy, which is really low frequency pressure waves, are particularly our solar arrays have a lot of surface area. And so more than just the vibration that the rocket launch vehicle delivers through the spacecraft via being attached, you also get a lot of acoustic noise that and these pressure waves that can break things. So we did an acoustic test with the spacecraft and the solar wings in their stowed configuration as well. Nice.
That one was fun. That was like, just as a photographer, that was pretty cool. Do you have like a favorite type of testing that is done on spacecraft or spaceflight hardware?
A quick test.
A quick test?
Yeah, that's my favorite type.
Whatever's the fastest.
I mean, look, testing is all about iterating on what we find to be wrong and fixing it. And so what you want to do is you want to do it as quick as possible. But no, all these tests fucking suck. They're all a pain in the ass to do. They're all really detailed, and every single one of them. I really wish I could tell you guys that we go in the room after test is done and we're like, oh yeah, we got to upgrade this component and this bolt needs to be changed. And that's actually never how it is. It's like, well, it's always a gray area we're working in. This broke. Did it break because of the bolt? Did it break because of the bracket? Did it break because the fundamental structure is off? Do we care it broke? Like, there's so many
and also,
questions.
To be clear, the testing that we were doing was actually Qual plus 6 dB.
Explain. I mean, I totally know what that means, but like for our viewers out there who might not know what that means, but I totally know.
All right. You take a can of soda and you shake it a little bit.
Okay.
And like, you open it up and it, right? Then you take it and you shake it a lot because
put it in a paint mixer.
Yeah, put it in a paint mixer and it might explode while it's in the paint mixer.
Got it.
We did the paint mixer.
Wow.
Yeah, Falcon gives us the envelope for what they want us to test to, and they get it based off all the data they flow in their predicted environments they're going to see. And every 3 dB you add is essentially
doubling
of what you're going to see.
So we did a double-double.
We did a double-double because Qual is already, we went to Qual levels and then we went plus 6 dB above Qual levels.
Yeah.
And Qual is already, I think it's like 10.5 dB above what the flight levels are supposed to be.
Yeah.
So in essence, we went 16.5 dB above what you needed to do.
Quadruple double? I got nothing.
So it's a little bit like, you're ever in that airplane flight and everything's really smooth, and then like you hit turbulent air and you're like, I can't believe this plane can do this and survive this. Yeah, planes are built really tough, and then you don't fly it that hard all the time on purpose. But it's still capable up to that level. And so that's the kind of testing that we were doing. Because if you only test to what it's going to see on the rocket, you don't really know how close to the edge you were on your analysis or capability. So we actually over-tested on purpose on a structural test article, which is why it's not the spacecraft itself, because we don't actually want
You
to
don't wanna
hurt
break
flight
it.
components.
Right.
So we use mass simulators and that kind of stuff. And then we don't reuse any of those components on flight, specifically so we can over-test it.
Super cool. So acoustics went well, question mark? I
Yeah.
actually don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty
I mean,
non-eventful.
I think it told us that acoustics is still a worthless test.
Huh.
Well, I mean, we had to do it once to know that, Matt. All right.
All right. Let's see. Then, okay, just over the weekend, you may have seen Matt tweeting some photos of posting. I guess I should say post. Zeeting? Zeeting some? Because it's,
I don't know why you're looking at me. You're the millennial
It's
dude.
X
I know
now.
you're looking at me like, yeah.
I don't know.
think I'm in
I thought
this-
I would get a reaction. I was hoping both of you would cringe or something when I said Zeeting. 'Cause that's what I do internally.
I literally don't know what that is.
It's when you tweet these days because it's X. It's no longer Twitter. Anyway, I digress. You may have seen Matt
Sounds
posting.
like a dirty word.
It does. Oh my God. I digress. You may have seen Matt posting some images over the weekend of a static load test. Matt, what the heck was that glue circle thing you were posting photos of?
I didn't publish any pictures of the test.
Not the test, but of the hardware itself.
Yeah, so we went into to vibe test.
Wow, just totally knocking you out.
Right?
I mean, I've been spicy at him this recording, so I think he's dishing it back a little bit, which is fair.
I actually think he's as an objective third-party observer. I think he's being uncharacteristically calm today.
Because I have Josh writing a little document for you after this, Jack.
Oh God.
Um,
Oh God. What does that mean?
I don't know. He's not even here today. It's not even a good joke when he's not even here,
Oh
right?
God, but
Yeah.
that was terrifying, nonetheless.
Okay, so
Josh is stuck in a blizzard.
yeah, he's stuck
poor
on the
guy.
East Coast. Okay, so we did the second structures vibe test, the first structures vibe test. We were not prepared for it correctly, and I think me and Robyn knew that, and we were like, "Fuck it, go test this thing." Anyways, and what actually happened on that test, so everybody knows, is a mass simulator broke pretty quickly into the test, so all our results were kind of invalid. So we said, "Cool, you got 2 weeks, redo the max and get back in."
Do it
And we
again.
did. And what we determined from this is, even at the plus 6 dB, the spacecraft survived. But to our point, that's actually not good. A requirement is meant to mean you hit the requirement that you need to fly it. And so we come with an agreement, for instance, that we're going to build a spacecraft that can handle Qual plus 3 dB. That means at 6 dB, it should fall apart. And if it doesn't, that means that we're too heavy. We actually
It's
have too much
overbuilt.
mass. It is overbuilt, and we pay per kilogram to go fly this thing. We need less. And so we looked at the bottom base plate, this big aluminum structure that holds the whole spacecraft together. It's about 8 kilograms on its own right now. And there's a very easy way to make it a lot less. It is to go to an aluminum honeycomb panel. A problem with that is modeling it and creating it are much, much harder. But we said, there's such a huge cost here. This is overdone. We think we have the correct material. Let's go try it. Let's go cut one out and see if we can do it. And it requires these things called doublers, which are essentially pieces of sheet metal that you glue on the sides of it for the bolts to go through. That's what I sent a picture of, was actually the doubler gluing and how that looks. And then we went to over this weekend, actually last night, we were here testing it. And it's amazing how much force you put into that. So we did a static load test. What that means is you hang essentially weight off it and see how much weight it can handle. I want to say it was about 1,600 kilograms or pounds. I forget which unit. Big difference there. I think it was.
That's a big difference.
I think it was 1,600 kilograms. I think it was like 3,000 something pounds that we hung off this thing. And what we're essentially doing is supporting it on the corners and putting it in the middle and hanging it there and saying, "Do you snap? Do you deflect at all?" And no, it did exactly what we expected to do, which was not break.
Nice.
Now, again, to the problem there being is that's great. That showed us that the lower limit, it didn't break. Does it actually mean we're too big? Does it mean we're too thick? How do we have to think about mass here? But that alone is going to lower the mass by about 4 kilograms. So we made the decision this morning that that's what we're going to go do. So we're going to replace the base plate on this with a aluminum honeycomb panel. And yeah, that's what we'll fly.
Awesome. Wow, that's a pretty huge change. I mean, I feel like this entire time I've been working here, it's, there's been a saga of sorts with the base plate, and now it's going to be a honeycomb panel.
I mean, the saga with the base plate has always been not a saga with the base plate. It's been a saga with you want to move shit on the base plate and like you have to drill new holes. Or that's not. By the way, it'll be a saga with the base plate. It doesn't matter what it's made out of. Because
Yeah, there's
that is
still
what
be a
everything
saga.
is mounted
This is
to.
just another chapter.
It's just how do we? If we're gonna have that saga, let's make the chapter thinner.
To be clear, the reason there's always going to be a saga is because the base plate is the component that attaches to the rest of the launch vehicle. So it's what has to take all the load. everything else takes less load and it's being transferred through. And so it's, I don't want to say a lesser requirement, but the other thing that Matt didn't mention is because we're much later in the spacecraft design, a lot of the uncertainty has been wrung out on the other pieces of the spacecraft so that now we don't have to maintain margin in that particular component anymore. And that's another reason that it allows us to lighten it up, because the rest of the spacecraft design is much more stable. So whereas we needed that margin early on in the program for this spacecraft and the design, oh, okay, we're later on. We know how these other parts are performing. We know how they're attaching. And it allows us additional options that we didn't really have in the beginning of the program. So the saga will continue.
I mean, if the saga didn't continue, then we wouldn't be iterating, which would be bad. So
Yeah, what's the alternative?
stagnation, which nobody wants. Especially, I mean, we're a startup. We can't do that.
Yeah, stagflation.
All right, Reagan. Reagan? Was that Reagan? Or was that? I don't know. It's before my time either way, one way or the other. I think it was Bush 1.
Wow, talking about things you don't even.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah, you have
That's
no
not-
idea what you're talking about.
that's-
Stagflation?
Yeah, Bush did not coin that term.
Was it Reagan?
It was not Reagan.
Was it
either.
Nixon?
I'm gonna stop talking to you, Jack.
Move on.
Oh my God.
We're gonna talk about space.
This is actually going to bother me. All right, moving on. Let's do some
Look up Volker.
some discussion about what's going on with this hot fire test. So this is the test that's
Oh,
coming
hot
up.
fire. Yeah, I like
This is
hot
the
fires.
next test, the next big one, and we are going to be firing one of our thrusters. Or
Hey,
two
you
of
skipped the RF test that we did too.
Oh, well, the RF test is on here, but we're running out of time in the pod. We're gonna have to get you back on, Robyn. But how did the RF test go in a paragraph or less?
It went well. Let's talk about the hot fire.
The hot fire is the big ticket item. That's why I wanted to get to it. It's exciting, and I'm going to get to point
I'm
the
just
camera.
following your script. You got a script
you're good.
now?
You did
and-
good.
Also, when the fuck
Format?
did we get a time limit?
Robyn has places to be.
Believe it or not, this might be Jack's job, but it is not mine.
So Robyn has a cutoff. I got you.
Straight
Okay.
under the bus for me.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, so the hot fire test is
Is this
going.
why he stopped having both of us on at the same time? Because we just totally
can
missed
you
this.
not feed into my ADD brain for like 5 seconds, please? All right. The hot fire test is the big ticket item that is coming up here in the next week. It's going to be awesome because I get to point a camera at a Hall effect thruster and take some cool imagery. Also, buy
Are
down
you gonna
risk.
wait? Are you gonna get to hang out inside the vacuum chamber?
Yes.
Have you got a spacesuit?
I do.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Is it made by Boeing?
Oh god. It's got the zipper. Have you seen those? Oh my god, they're so bad. All right. Focus. Look what you did.
I waited 7 seconds.
Hot fire test. Please, for the love of God, Robyn, tell us about the hot fire test.
Okay. So our spacecraft uses electric propulsion. We use a Hall effect thruster, which utilizes xenon gas. And through the magic of physics, we heat this gas up super duper hot and eject it out the back of the spacecraft. In doing that, we get incredibly high ISP, gas mileage. And but you have to be in the vacuum of space to operate it.
Like it won't even turn on.
It won't even turn on. In fact, it's designed, it has protective sensors inside of it that if you try to turn it on in an atmosphere, it'll just fault out. It'll be like, no, don't do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Like it's not even that it won't work. It just literally says no.
Yeah, it'll say no because it might kill you if you tried to run it. It'd be bad.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we have to put it in a vacuum chamber and in order to run it. And while we're there, we actually want to run we really want to run our own avionics, right? So we design our own hardware, avionics hardware, including all the power systems and all of the software that's used to control it. And we want to be able to run our system in conjunction with the thruster. We don't want to just run the thruster by itself. In fact, the vendor's already done that. Like before we ever got it, they run their acceptance testing on it, just like we do a vibe test. They do a hot fire test with it. So we're relatively certain, although I don't trust any vendor,
Trust but verify.
that actually
That was Reagan.
Yeah, that actually was Reagan. Just
Callbacks.
Yeah, sure. So we want to run all that. So we don't currently have a vacuum chamber here at our factory yet. We're going to go over the Aerospace Corporation. They have a very nice chamber with very competent engineers. Actually, they have a couple different chambers, and we're going to put the entire spacecraft inside the vacuum chamber and we're going to leave you in there with
Sweet.
your spacesuit to take pictures. We're going to close it up and we're going to pump it down to 1 times 10 to the minus, probably deeper than times 10 to the minus 6 torr. That's
Vacuum.
deep vacuum. And then we're going to commission it and turn it on and use all of our procedures, using all of our hardware, and actually run the thruster. Now, what that really does is it verifies and validates a lot of our internal designs. We obviously do all kinds of things here to simulate and to do all the edge cases and all that sort of stuff on our hardware and the loop testing. But I don't want the first time that we actually use our flight avionics and with our flight software and this particular complicated thruster, the first time that we turn it on to be in space. So we're using this time to buy down additional risk and to expose any other problems, just like the structural testing campaign that we did helped to show we had a little margin over here, not enough over there. We're going to do the same thing with firing the thruster.
Nice.
And it's not our flight thruster. We're going to use an engineering model this time in case we do something bad.
Makes sense. Okay, wait. You said it might kill you if you turn it on or what have. Like, there's something I don't actually know. Is a Hall effect thruster's plume hot, or like is it a plasma thing that would
Well, I mean, it's basically plasma, but
would it
that's
set a
not
piece of
what
paper
would
on
kill you.
fire?
What would kill you is you could get electrocuted. It could arc and create a short circuit and damage hardware, or you being hardware if you're standing close.
wetware?
Wetware.
Software?
I mean, it's a 300 volts difference that we run the thruster at, right? And that's enough to fuck your shit up.
Stop your heart, probably.
Yeah.
Noted. All right. So, what are we hoping to learn from this hot fire test, Matt? Is the answer nothing?
I mean, look, when this is a complicated system where we got to use our avionics to power on this Saffron thruster that we're using, and there's not a way to test it. So we either fly to space and like hope we got it all the way right, or we go test it out. So what are we hoping to learn? Actually, we're hoping to learn not much. We're hoping to learn that everything works as planned and that you turn it on and it works great and it fires for long duration, does exactly what it's supposed to do.
Boring is what I hope for in our testing. I really don't like exciting testing.
Yep. But we want to test as much as possible. Like, this is how you continuously burn down risk on these missions, right? You continuously test to make sure it's correct.
Makes sense. All right, let's move on now to mailbag, because I know you have places to be, Robyn, and I know you're a very busy man, Matt. Me, I am not very busy. No, I am busy, but that was a bad joke. All right, mailbag
Do you
time.
intentionally like pick T-shirts that match the chair color?
I intentionally try to not, because I sort of blend into it. Note, I'm not wearing my orange hoodie. I did not anticipate.
Jack only buys orange clothing. His pants are gray, but his shoes are orange. His fucking shirt is orange. His hoodies are orange.
My underwear is orange.
Is it too late for me to put a mailbag question in about
Go.
Jack's wardrobe?
Yeah, go.
No.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'll type it in the.
Like you're gonna send it in for the next episode?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's
Okay.
just
You can just ask
what
me
is
right
your,
now. Yeah, go.
What is your infatuation with the color orange?
Oh, it started off me shooting aircraft out in the desert, like out in Death Valley. There's certain places you can go.
Shooting?
Photographs.
Oh.
There's certain places you can go out in the desert because there's so many test ranges out
Like
here.
both Matt and I were like,
Where if there's a lot of relief in the landscape, like a mountain, say, you can go climb the mountain and then aircraft will fly below you. So it looks like you're in a fighter jet taking a picture of another fighter jet. Like, it's the only way to get what looks like an aerial shot of a jet. You know, it's not like a stupid air show photo where it's like, oh, look, the belly of an F-16. So in doing this for many years, I acquired a large wardrobe of orange things because this is international orange, which is flight test orange, which, you know, I would hope would grab a pilot's eye. And so if they're flying through a canyon at Mach fuck whatever, and they see a dude on the side of the canyon wearing orange, you know, what's cooler than a photo of a fighter pilot going like this, flying a plane through a canyon? A photo of a fighter pilot going like this, flying through a canyon, looking straight at the camera. So that's how it started.
Did you ever capture a fighter pilot actually looking at you?
Yeah.
Sick.
A bunch.
Mad props.
That's kind of the point. And then
Shouldn't they be like looking where they're going?
I mean, they got autopilot for that.
I don't think so.
That's not how that works at all.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works at all. All right, let's go to the actual mailbag.
Okay, yeah, but
I
there's
love
more.
distracting
But
Jack. It's so
TLDR, I like being seen when I want to be seen, so I don't feel like I am snooping around. Like if I'm walking around Starbase taking photos through the fence, I don't want to be wearing all black with a ski mask because the That's sketchy. Like if they see orange out
It's
in
a
the
way
middle of
better
nowhere,
get just full camo with a ski mask. Should do it
it's
next
like,
time.
oh, there's that orange guy out there. Okay, yeah, we know he's out there. Like, I don't know. It's a whole thing. Anyway,
Interesting.
there's psychology involved with the color. Let's do a mailbag and then let you guys get out of here and do your actual important work. This mailbag question, I'm just going to throw it out there. I'll let the first person who wants to answer it. Rohan's asking, after some of the mission design episodes, I was wondering how AstroForge plans on scaling up operations and launches with limited rideshare availability to TLI orbits. It seems like the intuitive machine rideshare missions are happening once a year, which does not seem frequent enough for your ambitions. Do you plan on switching to dedicated launch on Nova or other vehicles to scale or develop some other solution? Because, the more you fly, the more you can iterate, the more you can
I
improve.
think we've
right?
talked about this in the past.
I mean, we
haven't
have, and we're not really interested in releasing all of our upcoming flight window. But what I'll say is we have bought more launches than what are just on Intuitive Machines rideshares by a quite large number. So we will just not be flying on solely Intuitive Machine launches into the future.
And our spacecraft is designed, part of the requirements is it is designed specifically to be launch provider agnostic.
We attach to an ESPA ring. Is that a thing? Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
And that's like a fairly common, like that's not a specific Falcon 9 thing or a SpaceX thing. Like that's an industry standard thing.
Yep.
Which helps us be agnostic. Cool. What are some examples of This is from Space Pope. What are some examples of redundancies in play, either with software or hardware? And like talking a little bit about making a part lighter when it performs really well. How do you decide when to have those redundancies or when to cut them?
We've had so many, I think, discussions on this because it's actually really difficult to do. As an overall spacecraft, we want to be one fault tolerant. That means if one fault happens on the spacecraft, we can recover from it. Clearly, that's not always true. We have one fuel tank. So if a tank happens in the middle of a fuel tank, like bye-bye the spacecraft. We have one base plate. The base plate breaks, bye-bye spacecraft. So you really have to go down to like, what are the odds that something is going to fail? And how do you think about it that way? I mean, we bring up the story of Ariane 5 all the time and how it failed. It was triple redundant. It failed because the same part failed within 100 milliseconds of each other 2 times, right? And that brought down the rocket. So this is not as simple as saying like, oh, we're one fault tolerant, we're good to go. Just make all the decisions that way. It really is thinking about we do have a side A and a side B of the spacecraft. Some of our things are actually more than one fault tolerant. Some of them are going to be less. And like, this is a decision that goes into every single facet of the spacecraft design.
That's fascinating. I'm glad I am not the one that's having to make those decisions and trades, and it's much smarter people like both of you.
Well, and to be totally frank, adding redundancy adds complexity and sometimes has unintended consequences.
Like best part is no part kind of thing.
I mean, I don't know that I totally agree with that because that'd be like no company makes best company. So, I mean,
fair. Cool. Well,
you can't extrapolate that out forever or you just have no product. Like it does have to be a concerted effort of how you think about this. It's just a detailed approach. But to Robyn's point is we don't want to be 57 fault tolerant because then you just have...
I don't know how the hell you test for that.
It's just
right?
like a
You don't know how you
tungsten
test it. Things are wrong. Like this is where I think a lot of people get this wrong is they'll just want to add tolerance on top of tolerance and make sure all these redundancies and then you end up with Starliner.
Hey.
Or spacecraft that's too heavy.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's both good answers. Awesome. Well, thank you, Robyn, for taking time out of your day to be on Roid Rage episode 52. And thank you, Matt. Just gonna no-sell me. And thank you, Matt, for being on. That'll be it for this one. If you have any questions for Mailbag, you can throw them in the comments, or you can put them in a tweet and respond to our tweets, or send them to mailbag@astroforge.com, and we're happy to.
Hey, on the
answer them.
news, did you notice that they can make gold out of mercury now?
What?
Just leave you with that thought for your ADD.
Alchemy is real.
Alchemy is real.
Or
Actually, has been for a long time.
or
but-
will be when
Been
we.
for a long time. I mean, the particle colliders have done this forever.
What just happened?
We ended the episode for you.
Thanks.
Goodbye.